Hello, everyone. How are you doing? It's Linda G. Just got done with Sterling, and I'm wearing my Ruth Bader Ginsburg shawl, which I love. Thank you very much. And you know who you are. Just beautiful, just beautiful. So today it's overcast. The last windstorm took my fence, um, and I just replaced the fence behind me. And now the fence over here is blown down. But the good news is I found a terrific fence guy, and he's the son of the owner. And oh my God, you guys, he's gorgeous. He's like 6'4". Hubba, hubba, ding dong. Anyway, so on some of you guys who follow me on Twitter, I put a picture on Twitter of the girl from the Golden Girls, you know, the one, what's her name? The flamboyant one, wearing a peignoir set with walking like this. And I said, yeah, this guy that shows up, he probably wonders why when he goes to give me an estimate, I come out in a peignoir set and heels, trying to hold my stomach in. Anyway, so I said, well, after he's done with this fence, I think I'll kick down the one over here. But anyway, yeah, it feels good to be flirtatious and fun because that's been out of my life for quite some time. Okay, so I have some stuff to tell y'all. Let me get my little book here. So I was watching the autobiography of Charlie Chaplin. Okay, so he came through last night. I was minding my own beeswax, and this happens on occasion. I'll be watching an autobiography or see something a deceased person was in, and then boom, boom, I get messages. And his were beautiful. He is a very, very, he had his issues. For instance, he liked younger women, way younger women, and a little pervy, actually. But I will tell you that energetically, he had a lot of heartache and self-affliction, he didn't believe in himself. So maybe the younger ones thought he was special. This was more mental than it was about physical. Does that make sense? Um, he would conquest. So he hurt a lot of women, he's telling me. And that for that, he has to look, in fact, if he comes back, he'll come back as a woman. But he wanted to tell me, it was interesting because we got in a little conversation, and he wanted to tell me that, I am a conduit. I get information. I'm not a master teacher or someone who brings the tools that you all need, although I can tell you how to get out of your own way. But there are masters out there who are a little different. We've all got our own theme and what we're supposed to be doing. So he's telling me that all this madness that's going on is, we created it. I know that sounds crazy. So this disruption, we got a little bit too in our own way. We kind of think we're all that in a cup of tea. And he just wanted us to know that energetically we're changing. I told you all that I'm having vertigo really bad. I still am. And the doctor said, no, it's not related to the virus. I do feel like an awakening happened, but I do think that the vaccine, I'm sorry. I do think the vaccine, even though the neurologist said, no, it's not from the, I still think it is, because I've had vertigo before, but not this many days in a row. The first few days, I was literally stuck in my bed. Now I can go around, but I found one of those little bracelet things that you press that pressure point, and Sterling told me it blocks the nerve. So it's in, and this morning I was spinning, and immediately when I pressed on this, it was gone immediately. But I have to keep it on me. I kind of like that though. It's easier than grabbing for a pill, So he wants you guys to know he had a lot of work to do. How many years has he been gone? He's still in working. He's no great glorious saint, but he was talking what I talked about, that there was different levels. of awakenings over there. Vibrationally, we're all connected to source, but the beauty and stuff that happens to us happens piece by piece. And it's all about love, and there's no worry. Some people come over there and immediately think they have to control, and you can't over there. It's, you can still have your personality, but there's no control. So they are here helping us. And this person that came, we will actually look back and say, well, you know, a horrible person 45 was, but at the end of the day, we ended up to here because we will be okay. You know, I can't tell you why I know, except they've, between him and everybody else over there that tells me. There is, and also I felt like 2022, surprisingly, there's going to be more Democratic wins. It's not that thing where, remember how Obama came in, he did Obamacare, and then all of a sudden he didn't have the senator. No, it's not going to be any of that. It feels like people want well-being. And the things Biden is offering to this nation are going to be healing. And so we will look back at this and say, whoa, you know how some horrible things happen in our life, and later on as we get older, we say, you know, as terrible as that was, it brought me here, or it woke me up, that kind of energy. So he also said love is what it's all about, you guys. So not necessarily being in love or lust, but the love of mankind. And sometimes that's hard to do when we're too busy judging, you know, because look at the bile energy going up right now with people, you know, they're terrible libtards and all that. And it's just, it's sad because they're perfectly sane, good people who are Republicans who are looking at this and saying, oh my God, this is sad. So I do see him changing, trying to get another like, you know, Democrat, Republican, Independent, and Trumpsters. But it's not going to be as great as he thought it would be. I see people falling off, like all of a sudden they're looking this way. You know, it's not too bad how we're living over here. I don't think we want this rhetoric anymore. We don't want this anger. He's telling me that the whole purpose of them over there, you know, sometimes I saw people who used to be in human body help others on the other side. That's their purpose. It's almost like a pyramid that they're building mankind up and up and up, but they're all working together. So in our work, in our vibrational energy, we're all helping one another. And in the forgiveness of other people over there, it creates a brighter light. So the light is coming, you guys. There's well-being coming. We are here with you, he said. So he does have some things he's upset about. And all the stuff of, you know, he never quite, and I think this happens to a lot of people in Hollywood. Sometimes they, especially somebody like him with the background that he had, he never truly thought people liked him. See, that's the problem with when we get into what judgments of others. So the main thing he wants you to do is because he wasted a lot of his life always trying to prove a point or be better or whatever that is. That was a good driver, but at the end of the day, it meant nothing. And those who judged him end up hurting themselves. So remember, people who judge you, they're not going to get away scot-free. They're going to end up spiritually getting a little ding in that energy. So he's very happy he gets to work with, he's not in the Hollywood gang. There is a Hollywood gang over there of deceased members, but it's not, whoa, he told me that there's more people on the Hollywood end that were consumed, sorry, my voice, consumed with power, consumed with self. So it was hard for them to get out of their own way. The worst thing you can do on this earth, the uttermost sin, the first sin, is take away the will from another. That includes parents with their children. If you're constantly thinking that your way is the better way and you put your own will on another, it dings you. And that's what dictators do. And that's what, relationships, if you're with somebody who's always thinking they know better and telling you what to do, you'll notice energetically, you don't feel very happy. I used to be very controlling because things were out of control in my life. So in relationships, I could be a pain in the rear. But eventually when I step back, and I also took a breath with my sons have taught me a lot. And so, you just have to allow them to do what they need to do. And they ended up okay. Okay. And then we get scared too. Don't forget, if you have a child, I didn't, fortunately, but there's a lot of people I read out there that have a child involved with alcohol or drugs or a relationship that's horrible. Remember, they picked that. So there's nothing you can do except allow them to do free will, allow them to make their own decision. If they reach out to you, fair enough, but you cannot control it. So you have to allow them to go on their journey. Fortunately for me as an adult, my parents didn't want to know. So, they would they loved visiting with me, but they didn't want to know what decisions I was making, probably because it would have scared them. But I ended up being okay. So the road was supposed to be where I'm at, including the cancer. So Mary Ann hasn't come to me yet, my friend that died. I haven't heard from her, but I'm sure I will. I think she was shocked because, she wrote me while she was dying and asked me, how do you pray? So she didn't really know that then, she's got some adjusting to do. Okay. So I wanted to tell you guys that. And Charlie, he was a bright energy, very bright energetically. And like I said, I wasn't really looking for him. I like Charlie Chaplin, but not like I like Laurel and Hardy. In fact, let's try tapping into them on one of my things. I love Charlie. In fact, I visited their graves. But Charlie Chaplin, I enjoyed him, but I wasn't like a raving fan. But he made a lot of changes in the things he did. Watch that biography if you can. The things he did in the beginning of silent pictures and working his way into talks, it was amazing. So, but he was led, but he never felt right about himself. He was his own worst enemy. And, he got a little cocky there for a while too. But if you could see who he is on the other side, he was very happy to discuss with me what goes on over there. And they come in, it's like groups. So vibrationally, you're attracted to a group. There are, but very rarely, those who die here and catapult almost past the line, Christ consciousness energy. I think George Harrison was one that I felt like immediately became light. I think Biden will be one too, because I can see the light around him already. So he wants us to know all will be well and not to worry about all the drama that's going on. I've told you guys this before, but don't worry, okay? We're going to be okay. So on that note, I wanted to ask, and since I have this vibrational energy taking off right now around me, I wanted to ask, will you tell me, Charlie, are you here? I'm getting another man talking to me. I think it's my guide. He's so serious all the time. Always forgive yourself. Always remember to forgive yourself. We can be so hard, and forgive others, because you know what? Maybe not necessarily for the others, but to take that energy off you. If you go through life holding that sword about being angry how dad treated you, in the end, you only keep cutting yourself. Give them no more power. You have no power here. Be gone. Okay, but I wanted to read, since I'm feeling good, I wanted to read on this, you heard 5 attorneys have walked out on 45. And I just want to know about the hearings. How will they go? If you could give me a little bit of a hint. Remember when I first looked on it, the cards were like, yeah, well, it works out. But, and I was surprised because, you know, they tend to vote for him, yes, for him, no matter what. Those people that stand in darkness, you know who I'm talking about. I just saw this blackness and like this weird energy. They will fall from the tree. They are corrupting and decaying this Republican energy. So remember I told you Republican Party was going to, and I've said this for years, was actually going to be healed and become a better party. In fact, some of us Dems might switch to Republicans, but it's after all this drama. So just like I told you, believe it or not, down the road, we'll be friends with Russia. I know it sounds crazy, but we're going to do good with Russia. So we're going into the new beginning on this. So there's some sneakiness going on. There's some grabbing stuff and walking away. I think there's justice will be served though. I'm thinking there's, and Sterling made a very interesting comment today. They said, why did Comey tell Biden to just let Trump go, pardon him? And he said, because he doesn't want the pot stirred. He doesn't want things brought up that might have his name on it. So we'll find out, okay? Because there could be some stuff in there that maybe he could have even done, but he didn't do. I don't think Comey's a horrible person, but I think he's worried about something. The cycle will change, okay? A new beginning, good fortune. So we're taking a sigh of relief. We're breathing a sigh of relief and we're celebrating. This is my dancing in the streets. So whatever happens with this, it's going to make people look totally different. So this is like working hard, looking at this and being surprised, like a judgment in our favor. So it looks good, you guys. But there's might be some more stuff coming out. So let's look at him. How's he doing? How's 45 doing? I'm just going to tell you right now, mark my words on this. This will not be Armageddon and all of a sudden the Dems are voted out. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing people are liking the way they can live with this new Biden administration. So why did those attorneys leave? There's several things. First of all, he never signed a contract and he never paid him, which you know he had hoped that he wouldn't have to do. I don't see Giuliani coming in because Giuliani has his own troubles. I think they're taking away Lynn Wood's law license too. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now and they're battered. Maybe that other guy, the short little guy that was in the first one, maybe he'll come in. So what's going on with him right now? Who is he getting to represent him? He's desperate. I feel he was furious. Furious. Okay, thank you. So I just heard from Charlie again, and he just said to me, this man who thinks he's a big man is actually a little man. So he enjoyed the empowerment of Washington, but he only did to please himself. So he thought he was, no different than Caligula, maybe not as bad, but he liked to be cruel and he liked his people to go yay. But a lot of this stuff, he didn't even believe himself. So, oh, Mexico is going to pay for the border and I'll have the best healthcare for you. He did. He just went up there and made stuff up and they still loved him. They still loved him. So he's working away at trying to find somebody. There's people that don't want to. Here's one, maybe he'll have two people, okay? But look at this. He's hoping to delay or to make this thing, like he's telling everybody, you got to delay this or you got to stop it, but I don't see it being delayed. There's also, by February, there's going to be a lot of stuff monetary wise happening. Oh, it's going to be tough, you guys. It's going to be tough. But we're in this together, and I don't want you guys to worry, and there will be adjustments with the stock market. But remember, it's not going to be Armageddon, and the new beginning that Biden is doing, they will hit up a, what do you call it, tax, millionaire tax or something. It's not even going to affect them that much. I just saw that tax. Don't ask me why. I just saw it. It's going to help put money in the coffers because we are in debt beyond belief. And now, of course, you know, the Republicans are, oh, well, you're spending too much money, but it's okay that Trump took 10,000 golf stuff anyway. Vacations that he said he was mad at Obama for taking. Okay, so I just want you to know, you guys, this is getting better. I don't have a feeling of doom and gloom, and that Charlie guy just really made me feel good. Like the way he was showing how we all help each other, and on the other side, let me tell you how you get brownie points on this side is helping others. Okay, if you, and I don't, and here's the problem with people, especially us Americans. Sometimes we're like, oh yeah, well, I gave money to this or I did this, and then we're always announcing it. Probably because we want a little pat in the back. True giving doesn't require a pat on the back. You just got to give. You don't have to be silent, but you just have to give. You know, there's a lot of very wealthy people that give and don't want their name put on it for two factors. One, they don't want people saying, please, me. But also because, you know, and for tax reasons. But anyway, okay. But they also love doing this and not having to worry. There's that little Missouri thing I think I sent you guys where that radio or TV station, there's a guy that gives money to people he finds out in need, single moms that need a new car. Oh God, it was just wonderful. And they go there and they film it. And, you know, I think it's just wonderful. I like when people can get new things. Okay. So you guys, I'm going to come off for now. I have my live mediumship with my peoples at 12:30. And Lulu and Jack are just being a pain. Okay, you guys, ciao.